The wine glass shatters against white marble. Elara's hands won't stop shaking as crimson liquid spreads across the floor, like a warning she should have seen coming. The restaurant hums with low conversations and clinking silverware, but all she hears is her own heartbeat pounding against her ribs. Her navy apron is soaked where she pressed it against her eyes 30 seconds ago, trying to hide tears that wouldn't stop falling. The front door slams open. Rivan. His neck tattoo, some scripture he never actually read, bulges as he storms past the hostess stand. 3 tables turn to look. Elara freezes mid-step, tray trembling in her grip. He's not supposed to be here. Not tonight. Not ever again, after what she told him yesterday. But he's here, and he's walking straight toward her. Have you ever watched someone you love transform into someone you fear? That moment when their eyes go cold, and their voice drops low enough to feel like a threat wrapped in familiar words. Elara knows that look. She's seen it 17 times in 4 months. Rivan grabs her arm before she can step backward. His fingers dig into skin already bruised from last week. The tray tilts. A water glass slides off and explodes against the floor. Customers gasp. The manager glances over, then quickly looks away like he didn't see anything. "What are you doing here?" Elara whispers, voice cracking. "You think I didn't hear?" Rivan leans so close his breath burns her cheek. "You think I didn't hear about you talking to that man at the bar? Smiling at him? Embarrassing me? I was taking his order. Liar." His grip tightens until her fingers go numb. She tries to pull away, but he yanks her closer, knocking her shoulder against his chest. Someone drops a fork. The sound echoes like a gunshot. "Hi, viewers. Kindly tell us where you're watching from and what time it is." "Rivan, stop! You're hurting me!" His voice cuts through the entire restaurant like a blade through silk. "You're dead when we get home." Silence drops like a curtain. Forks freeze mid-air. Conversations die. A woman at table 4 covers her mouth. The pianist's hands hover above keys that suddenly feel too loud to touch. But nobody moves. Nobody intervenes. Except a man in the corner slowly lifts his head from his wine glass. Black suit, tattooed fingers wrapped around crystal stem. Eyes like carved obsidian that reflect nothing but calculate everything. He's been sitting there for 20 minutes, watching, waiting. Casaro Valor sets down his glass with deliberate precision. The sound of crystal meeting wood punctuates the air like a judge's gavel. His gaze locks onto Rivan with the calm intensity of a predator who's never rushed a kill in his life. Have you ever seen someone realize they've made a mistake they can't take back? Drop a comment below. Rivan's fingers dig deeper into Elara's arm, knuckles white against her dark skin. She winces, but doesn't scream. Screaming makes it worse. Screaming makes him angrier. She learned that 2 months ago when he put a dent in her apartment wall right next to her head. "Look at me when I'm talking to you." Rivan jerks her forward so hard, her ponytail whips across her face. A couple at table 6 stands up. The woman reaches for her purse. The man puts cash on the table without asking for change. They leave quickly, heels clicking against hardwood like a countdown clock nobody else can hear. The manager, thin man, grey temples, expensive watch, hovers near the kitchen door. He's holding a phone, not calling anyone, just holding it like a prop in a play where he's pretending to be useful. Elara's breathing comes in short gasps. "Please, Not here. Not in front of everyone. You made it in front of everyone when you flirted with that guy. Rivan's voice climbs higher, sharper. Spit flies from his lips. You made me look stupid. I wasn't flirting. I was... Shut up! The restaurant is a museum now. Everyone frozen in place. Eyes wide, mouths closed. Fear has a way of turning people into furniture. Except Casaro. He shifts in his seat, adjusting the cuff of his black suit jacket. His fingers, tattooed with symbols older than the city itself, tap once against the table. Just once. The sound is soft, but two men in dark suits by the entrance hear it like a bell tolling midnight. They straighten, eyes locked on Rivan, waiting. Casaro takes a slow sip of wine. His movements are liquid and controlled, like someone who's decided something important and is now simply watching it unfold. He doesn't look angry. He doesn't look concerned. He looks like a man who's already made his decision and is simply waiting for the right moment to execute it. Rivan yanks Elara again. Apologize. For what? For embarrassing me. She whispers something too quiet for anyone else to hear. But Casaro hears it. Her voice cracks on the word sorry, even though she has nothing to apologize for. Casaro's jaw tightens. His wine glass settles back onto white linen with the gentleness of someone handling explosives. Then he speaks, low, unhurried. That's enough. Rivan doesn't hear him, or pretends not to. But the two men by the entrance step forward. One moves left, one moves right. Blocking the only exit, Rivan's hand shoots up toward Elara's face. She flinches hard, eyes slamming shut, body turning sideways in a motion she's practiced too many times. You think you can ignore me? Rivan's voice is jagged glass. You think you're too good for me now? Elara's back hits the edge of a table. Wine glasses rattle. A candle tips over, flame extinguishing with a soft hiss. Hot wax spills across white cloth like blood that hasn't been drawn yet. Answer me. I didn't. Her voice breaks. A tear slides down her cheek and lands on her red tie, darkening the fabric. I didn't do anything wrong. Casaro stands, slow, deliberate, like a mountain deciding to move. He doesn't rush, doesn't shout, doesn't reach for a weapon or make a scene. He simply rises to his full height, 6'3" of controlled violence wrapped in Italian wool, and takes one step forward. The temperature in the room drops. Rivan finally notices. He turns his head, still gripping Elara's arm, and sees Casaro for the first time. Really sees him. The black suit, the tattooed fingers, the face that's been in newspapers and police files and whispered conversations for 20 years. Stay out of this, old man. Rivan puffs his chest like a rooster challenging a wolf. This is between me and my girl. Casaro tilts his head slightly. His expression doesn't change. No anger, no surprise. Just cold, empty observation. Let her go. 3 words, spoken like facts instead of requests. Rivan laughs, high and nervous, the sound people make when they're trying to convince themselves they're not afraid. You think I'm scared of you? I don't care who you think you are. Casaro takes another step. His shoes tap against hardwood with the rhythm of a funeral march. Elara's breathing quickens. She recognizes him now. Everyone in Briarwood knows that face. The waitstaff whispers about him. The owner gives him the best table without asking. People avoid eye contact when he walks past. Casaro Valor. The name alone makes grown men cross the street. Rivan sees the recognition in Elara's eyes and misreads it as fear of him. He jerks her forward again. See, she knows who's in charge here. Casaro's voice drops even lower, soft as a blade sliding from a sheath. The mistake was thinking she belongs to you. Rivan's grip loosens, just for a second, just long enough for doubt to crack through bravado. Casaro's eyes shift to Elara. When he speaks again, his voice gentles, barely, but enough to notice. Walk away, little dove. Elara hesitates. Her arm is still trapped in Rivan's grip. Her legs feel like water. But something in Casaro's voice, something steady and absolute, gives her permission to move. She pulls backward. Rivan's hand tightens reflexively, trying to drag her back. Casaro steps between them, and the room stops breathing. The lights seem dimmer now, or maybe it's just that Casaro's presence swallows everything else in the room. He doesn't touch Rivan, doesn't raise his voice, doesn't make threats that sound like movie dialogue. He just stands there, one foot in front of the other, hands relaxed at his sides, face calm as still water before a storm. Rivan backs up half a step without realizing he's doing it. His bravado is crumbling like wet cardboard. The veins in his neck still bulge, but now they pulse with something different than rage. Fear. Look, man, I don't want any trouble. Rivan's voice climbs higher, defensive now. This is just a misunderstanding between me and my girlfriend. Casaro's head tilts slightly, like he's examining an insect under glass. She's not your girlfriend. What? She flinched when you raised your hand. Casaro's words are surgical, precise. That means she's afraid of you. Fear isn't love. It's ownership. Rivan's mouth opens, closes, opens again. You don't know anything about us. I know enough. Casaro lifts his right hand slowly, so slowly that every eye in the restaurant tracks the movement. He adjusts his cufflink. The motion reveals tattoos crawling across his knuckles, letters in a language most people don't recognize. Symbols that mark him as someone who's survived wars nobody talks about. Rivan sees them. His Adam's apple bobs as he swallows hard. Elara stands 3 feet behind Casaro now, trembling but upright. Her arm throbs where Rivan's fingers left marks that will turn purple by tomorrow. She's crying quietly, trying to wipe her face with her apron, trying to disappear. Casaro doesn't turn around, but somehow knows exactly where she is. You're free to leave, he tells Rivan. Or you can stay and see what happens when you threaten someone under my protection. Your protection? Rivan's laugh is hollow. I didn't know she was... Look, I didn't mean... Yes, you did. Silence stretches like piano wire about to snap. Rivan glances at the exit. The 2 men in dark suits haven't moved. They stand like statues carved from violence, blocking both doors without touching them. Casaro takes another step forward. Rivan takes 2 steps back. Walk away, Casaro says softly. While you still can. Rivan looks at Elara one last time. His face twists with humiliation and rage and something uglier. The look of someone who's lost control and knows everyone saw it happen. This isn't over, Rivan hisses. Casaro's expression doesn't change. Yes, it is. Then he reaches into his jacket. Slow, deliberate. Every movement calculated to show he's not afraid and doesn't need to hide anything. He pulls out a phone. Not a weapon, just a phone. He scrolls through contacts without looking away from Rivan. Finds a number. Presses call, holds it to his ear. The restaurant is silent enough to hear the dial tone humming through the speaker. Someone answers on the second ring. Casaro speaks 3 words. "Take out the trash." 2 minutes. That's how long it takes for everything to change. The front door opens. No dramatic music, no screeching tires. Just the soft chime of the bell above the entrance and the measured footsteps of men who've done this before. 2 of them. Black suits, expressionless faces, moving with the efficiency of machinery designed for one purpose. Rivan's eyes go wide. "Wait, hold on." They don't wait. One man circles left, the other right, boxing Rivan in without touching him yet. Their movements are synchronized, practiced, inevitable. "Look, I'm leaving. I'm going right now." Rivan backs toward the wall, hands up like surrender will save him. "You don't have to do this." Casaro returns to his table, sits down, picks up his wine glass like nothing extraordinary is happening 3 feet away. Rivan tries to bolt for the side exit. The first man steps in front of him, doesn't grab him, doesn't threaten him, just stands there, silent and immovable as a concrete wall. Rivan spins the other direction. The second man mirrors the movement, cutting off escape. "Please!" Rivan's voice cracks. The tough guy persona is gone, burned away like paper in fire. "I'm sorry. I won't come back. I swear." Casaro sips his wine. His voice emerges quiet and final. "You threatened her life in a public place. You put your hands on her. You made her cry. I was angry. People say things when they're angry. And people face consequences when they cross lines." Casaro nods once. Barely a movement, just a slight dip of his chin. The 2 men move in. They don't punch him, don't shove him. They grip his arms with professional precision and start walking him toward the door. Rivan tries to resist, feet scrambling against polished wood, but it's like watching someone fight gravity. "You'll regret this," Rivan screams, voice climbing to hysteria. "You don't know who I am. You don't know what I'm capable of." Casaro finally looks at him directly. "I know exactly what you're capable of. That's why you're leaving." One of the men opens the door. The other guides, almost gently, Rivan through it. Their hands never leave his arms. They're not hurting him. They're just making absolutely certain he goes where they want him to go. Outside, a black SUV idles at the curb. Engine running. Back door already open. Rivan sees it, and panic floods his voice. "Where are you taking me? What are you going to do?" No one answers. They walk him down 3 steps, across 5 feet of sidewalk, to the open door. One man places a hand on Rivan's head, guiding it down so he doesn't hit the frame. The gesture is almost polite. Rivan tries one last time. "I'll call the cops. I'll tell them you kidnapped me." The man closing the door pauses, looks at him with empty eyes. "Go ahead." The door slams. The sound echoes through the quiet street, like a judge's gavel declaring verdict and sentence in one metallic bang. The SUV pulls away from the curb. Smooth. Unhurried. Its taillights disappear around the corner, as if Rivan never existed at all. Inside the restaurant, Elara collapses into a chair. Her whole body shakes so hard the table rattles. She covers her face with both hands and sobs, the kind of crying that comes from months of held breath finally released. Casaro stands, straightens his jacket, walks toward her with footsteps that barely make a sound. He stops 3 feet away, close enough to speak quietly, far enough to not crowd her. When he speaks, his voice has changed. Still steady, but softer now, almost gentle. You're safe now. Elara looks up through tears. Her mascara has drawn black rivers down her cheeks. Who are you? Casaro's expression flickers, just for a second, with something that might be memory or regret or both. Someone who doesn't like seeing innocence punished. He places a card on the table in front of her. Thick paper, embossed lettering, a phone number and nothing else. If he comes back, or if anyone hurts you, call me. Elara stares at the card like it might explode. Why would you help me? I'm nobody. Just a waitress. Casaro's jaw tightens. He looks at her face, really looks, like he's searching for something he lost a long time ago. Then he says something that makes her blood run cold and her heart race at the same time. Tell your mother, Seraphine, that Casaro Valor keeps his promises. He turns and walks back to his table before she can ask what that means. Sits down, picks up his wine glass, and resumes his dinner as if the last 10 minutes never happened. Should Elara trust the man who just saved her life? Comment below. Elara's apartment smells like lavender and fear. She sits on her second-hand couch, knees pulled to her chest, staring at the business card like it might catch fire. The embossed letters spell out a name she's heard whispered in back rooms and hushed conversations her entire life. Casaro Valor. Her phone buzzes. Unknown number. She doesn't answer. It buzzes again. Then again. 6 times in 3 minutes before finally going silent. Rivan, or someone working for him. Her hands won't stop shaking. The bruises on her arm have darkened to purple-black, finger-shaped constellations mapping out violence she tried to excuse for too long. She pulls her sleeve down even though nobody's watching. The front door opens. Elara jumps so hard she drops the card. "Baby, I'm home!" Her mother's voice carries exhaustion like luggage she can't put down. Seraphine Vale shuffles through the doorway, grocery bags hanging from both arms, face lined with the kind of tired that comes from 20 years of cleaning other people's houses. She stops mid-step when she sees Elara's face. What happened? Elara tries to speak, but nothing comes out except a sound like glass breaking underwater. Her mother drops the groceries. Apples roll across worn carpet. She crosses the room in 4 strides and wraps her daughter in arms that have held her through every nightmare since birth. Tell me. So Elara does. She tells her about Revan storming into the restaurant, about his hands on her arm, about his voice promising death, about customers who watched and did nothing. And then she tells her about the man who did. Seraphine goes completely still. The kind of still that happens right before an earthquake. What did you say his name was? Casaro Valor. Elara picks up the card from where it fell. He told me to tell you something. He said to tell you that Casaro Valor keeps his promises. The color drains from Seraphine's face like water circling a drain. She sits down hard on the couch, one hand pressed against her chest like she's trying to keep her heart from escaping. Mama, do you know him? Seraphine's voice comes out barely above a whisper. I used to work for his family. When? 20 years ago, before you were born. Her mother's eyes go distant, focusing on memories that still draw blood. I worked in a mansion owned by his older brother. Beautiful place. Marble everywhere. Paintings worth more than our lives. What happened? Seraphine's jaw tightens. His brother was cruel. To everyone. but especially to the help. He'd dock our pay for imaginary mistakes, make us work double shifts without notice, fire people for looking at him wrong. Elara leans forward. Did he hurt you? Her mother doesn't answer directly, just pulls up her own sleeve and shows a scar running along her forearm, thin and white with age but still visible. I dropped a crystal vase. Accident. My hands were full. He grabbed my arm and dragged me across broken glass. Mama, Casaro saw it happen. Seraphine's voice cracks. He was younger then, maybe 30. He walked into the room right as his brother threw me against the wall. I thought he'd join in or laugh or do nothing like everyone else did. But he didn't. He grabbed his brother by the throat and told him if he ever touched me again, family wouldn't stop what came next. Seraphine's eyes fill with tears. Then he turned to me and said, I'm sorry for what my blood has done to you. I'll make this right. Did he? I thought he meant money, an apology, maybe help finding a new job. Seraphine looks at the card in her daughter's hand. I never imagined he meant protecting my daughter 20 years later. The room falls silent, except for the sound of a faucet dripping in the kitchen, steady as a heartbeat counting down to something neither of them can name yet. Elara's phone buzzes again. This time she answers. The voice on the other end isn't Raivan's. It's deeper, calmer, terrifying in its politeness. Miss Vale, this is Casaro's driver. He'd like to speak with you and your mother. Tonight. He'll send a car in 30 minutes. The line goes dead before Elara can refuse. She looks at her mother. He wants to see us. Seraphine stands slowly, like someone preparing for surgery they can't avoid. Then we go. Why would he help us? What does he want? Her mother's face hardens with understanding that comes too late and too heavy. Because your safety is the debt he's been trying to repay for 20 years. Outside their window, a black car pulls up to the curb, 30 minutes early. The mansion smells like old money and older secrets. Elara follows her mother through hallways lined with paintings of men whose eyes seem to track movement, even though they've been dead for decades. Their footsteps echo against marble floors, polished to mirror shine. Everything here costs more than her entire life. A woman in a grey suit, silent, efficient. Terrifying, leads them to a study where floor-to-ceiling windows overlook a garden lit by moonlight and strategic lighting that probably costs more per month than their rent. Casaro sits behind a mahogany desk that looks carved from a single tree. He's changed clothes, black shirt now instead of a suit jacket, sleeves rolled up to reveal more tattoos climbing his forearms like vines growing from violence. He stands when they enter. Mrs. Vale, thank you for coming. Seraphine's voice is steady, but her hands shake. You didn't give us much choice. You always have a choice. Casaro gestures to 2 leather chairs. Please, sit. They do. Elara perches on the edge of her seat, like a bird ready to fly. Her mother sits straighter, chin up, meeting his gaze directly. Casaro returns to his chair, but doesn't sit. Just rests his hands on the desk, tattooed fingers spread wide. I imagine you have questions. Why? Seraphine's voice cuts like wire. Why help her? Why now? You haven't contacted me in 20 years. Because I've been watching. His honesty lands heavy as stones. Not stalking, not invading privacy, but aware. I made a promise to make things right after what my brother did. That meant ensuring his victims and their families remained safe. Safe from what? From men like him. From men like Rivan. Casaro's expression hardens. I recognized your daughter the moment she started working at Garnet House 3 months ago. Same eyes as her mother. Same gentle spirit my family tried to break. Elara finds her voice. You've been watching me for 3 months? Not me personally, but people who work for me, yes. When I learned about Rivan, about his temper, his control, his threats, I waited to see if you'd handle it yourself. He looks at her with something close to respect. You tried. You told him to leave. You set boundaries. But some men don't understand words. So you made him disappear. Elara's hands clench in her lap. Where is he? What did you do? He's alive, unharmed, on a bus heading 3 states away, with enough money to start over and a very clear understanding that returning to Briarwood would be catastrophic for his health. Casaro's voice drops. I don't kill out of convenience, but I do remove threats. Seraphine leans forward. What do you want from us? Nothing. Nobody helps for free, especially not men like you. Casaro's jaw tightens. For a moment, he looks younger, like the 30-year-old who grabbed his brother's throat 20 years ago. Men like me carry debts that don't expire with age. Your daughter's safety isn't a favor. It's repayment for a crime my blood committed against yours. Your brother committed that crime, not you. I share his name, his wealth, his legacy. Casaro's hands curl into fists. That makes me responsible for cleaning up his messes, even the ones that took 20 years to surface. Elara's voice cracks. What if Rivan comes back? What if he doesn't stay away? Then I'll handle it. Casaro pulls open a desk drawer and removes a folder, slides it across polished wood toward them. This contains documentation of every threat Rivan made, every text message, every witness statement from the restaurant. If he returns, you call the police first, then you call me. Why the police first? Because I want you protected by law before you're protected by me. One is permanent. The other is questionable. His smile is thin and humorless. I prefer permanent solutions. Seraphine opens the folder. Her eyes scan pages of printed text messages, screenshots showing Rivan's escalating threats over 4 months. Some Elara never told anyone about. Some she deleted, hoping they'd disappear if she didn't look. How did you get these? Does it matter? Yes. Casaro meets her gaze without flinching. I have resources, people who can retrieve information when necessary. Consider it insurance. Elara's phone buzzes. Everyone freezes. She pulls it from her pocket. Unknown number. Text message. I'm coming back for you. And that old man can't stop me. The phone slips from her fingers and hits marble with a crack that sounds like a gunshot. Casaro's expression doesn't change, but something in his eyes goes cold and final. He picks up his own phone, presses a single button. He's not on the bus. His voice is ice wrapped in silk. Find him. Now. He ends the call and looks at Elara with the same gentleness he showed in the restaurant, the kind that doesn't match his reputation, but fits his actions. Pack a bag. Both of you. You're staying here tonight. We can't just... He knows where you live. He knows your schedule. He knows you're vulnerable. Casaro stands. You're not staying vulnerable. Not while I'm still breathing. Seraphine starts to protest, but stops when she sees her daughter's face. Elara is shaking so hard her teeth chatter. The reality of 4 months of fear crashes down all at once. Casaro walks to the door, opens it, speaks to someone waiting in the hall. Prepare the east wing. 2 rooms. Extra security on that side of the house. He turns back to them. You're under my protection now. That means locked doors, trained guards, and no one gets close without clearance. For how long? His answer is simple and absolute. Until the threat is eliminated. Outside, tires screech against pavement. Car doors slam. Voices shout in controlled urgency. Casaro's phone rings. He answers, listens. His face goes darker than Elara thought possible. Where? The voice on the other end speaks too quietly to hear. Casaro's next words drop like stones into water. He's here. The east wing locks from the inside. Heavy deadbolts slide into place with sounds like prison doors closing. Except Elara and her mother aren't the prisoners. They're protected cargo in a fortress they didn't ask to enter. Seraphine paces the length of a guest bedroom that's bigger than their entire apartment. Persian rugs, silk curtains, a bed that could sleep 4 people comfortably. Everything here whispers wealth, accumulated through methods nobody discusses in polite company. We shouldn't be here. Her mother's voice is tight. This isn't our world. Elara sits on the edge of the bed, phone still clutched in one hand, even though it hasn't buzzed again. We don't have anywhere else to go. We have our apartment, where Rivan knows the address, where the locks are cheap and the neighbors don't answer when someone screams. Elara's voice rises. Where were we supposed to go, Mama? A hotel we can't afford? The police who'll tell us to file a report and wait. Seraphine stops pacing. Her shoulders sag. I just don't want you owing men like Casaro Valor anything. Maybe I already do. Before her mother can respond, footsteps echo in the hallway. Quick, purposeful. Multiple sets moving with military precision. Someone knocks. 3 sharp raps. It's Casaro. Seraphine unlocks the door, but doesn't open it wide. Just a crack. Enough to see his face. He's changed again. Dark jeans now. Black t-shirt. No pretense of elegance, just function and efficiency. 2 men flank him. Same ones from the restaurant, she realizes. Silent guardians who move like shadows with training. We need to talk. Casaro's voice is gentle, but leaves no room for argument. All of us. Downstairs. Now. They follow him to a room with no windows. Concrete walls, a single table, chairs arranged like an interrogation setup, except nobody's being interrogated. Casaro waits until they're all seated before speaking. Rivan didn't get on the bus. He jumped off 2 exits early and doubled back. His fingers tap against the table, the only sign of tension in an otherwise calm exterior. He's been watching the house for the past 40 minutes. Elara's blood turns to ice water. How do you know? Security cameras, motion sensors, trained men who notice when someone parks across the street and doesn't leave. Casaro pulls out a tablet and turns it toward them. The screen shows grainy footage of a car. Rivan in the driver's seat, staring at the mansion gates like a wolf studying a fence. What's he waiting for? Seraphine's voice is barely audible. Permission he's not going to get. Casaro's jaw sets. Or stupidity to override survival instinct. Either way, he's made his choice. What choice? To come back, to threaten, to believe he's untouchable because most men who hurt women face no consequences. Casaro's eyes meet Elara's. He's wrong. So what happens now? Now you stay here, safe, behind locks and guards and walls designed to keep threats outside. He stands. And I go handle the threat. Elara jumps to her feet. You're going to kill him? No. Then what? Casaro's expression softens just slightly. I'm going to give him one final chance to leave and never return. If he refuses, I'll make sure he can't hurt anyone ever again. How? You don't need those details. Yes, I do. Elara's voice cracks. If someone's going to get hurt because of me, I need to know. Casaro crosses the room in 3 strides, stops directly in front of her, close enough that she has to look up to meet his eyes. Listen carefully. His voice drops to something intimate and terrible. Men like Rivan don't stop because you ask nicely. They don't stop because police issue restraining orders. They don't stop because society tells them violence is wrong. He pauses. They stop when someone stronger makes them stop. Permanently. You're scaring me. Good. Fear keeps you alert. Alert keeps you alive. Seraphine moves between them. Enough. She's been through enough tonight without you playing the monster. Casaro steps back. I'm not playing. He walks to the door. Stay here. Don't open this door for anyone except me or the 2 men who brought you downstairs. Understand? They nod. He leaves. The lock clicks behind him with the finality of a decision already made. Elara collapses into her chair. Her whole body trembles. What have we gotten into? Seraphine kneels beside her daughter. We got into survival. Sometimes survival looks like this. Outside, an engine revs. Tires squeal. Glass shatters somewhere on the property. Elara jumps. What was that? Her mother doesn't answer, just pulls her daughter close and holds on tight. Minutes pass like hours. Then Casaro's voice crackles through a speaker mounted in the ceiling. Intercom system Elara hadn't noticed before. He tried to ram the gate. He's in custody now. Relief floods through Elara so fast she feels dizzy. Is he alive, restrained, being transported somewhere that will convince him Briarwood is no longer an option? Casaro's voice is steady, professional. You're safe. Get some sleep. We'll talk in the morning. The intercom clicks off. Seraphine guides her daughter back upstairs, tucks her into bed like she's 7 years old instead of 19, sits in a chair beside the bed and watches her breathe until exhaustion finally drags Elara into sleep. But Seraphine doesn't sleep. She stares at the locked door and thinks about debts that compound over 20 years, about men who keep promises longer than most keep marriages, about protection that feels like salvation and imprisonment all at once. Her phone buzzes, text from an unknown number. He won't bother her again. You have my word. See. She deletes the message, but she doesn't delete the number. Morning light filters through bulletproof glass. Elara wakes to silence so complete it feels artificial. No traffic sounds, no neighbors arguing, no world existing beyond these walls. Her mother is gone. Panic spikes through her chest like electricity. She throws off silk sheets and runs to the door, locked from the outside. She pounds on heavy wood with both fists. Mama! Footsteps approach. The lock disengages. The door opens. One of Casaro's guards, tall man, expressionless face, earpiece visible, steps aside. Your mother is downstairs having breakfast. Mr. Valor asked that you join them when you woke. Elara doesn't bother changing out of the clothes she slept in, just follows the guard through hallways that feel less threatening in daylight, but no less dangerous. The dining room overlooks the garden. Her mother sits at a table set for 3, coffee cup halfway to her lips, deep in conversation with Casaro. They both stop talking when Elara enters. "How do you sleep?" Her mother's voice is too careful, like she's talking to someone breakable. "Where's Rivan?" Casaro sets down his own coffee. "Gone. Permanently." What does that mean? It means he boarded a flight to Seattle 2 hours ago, with enough money to restart his life and legal documentation explaining that returning to this state will result in immediate arrest on multiple charges. Casaro's voice is matter-of-fact, businesslike. It also means certain people in Seattle will be watching him. If he so much as looks at another woman wrong, I'll know. Elara sinks into the empty chair. Her hands shake. So it's over. The immediate threat is over. The consequences of 4 months of abuse, those take longer to heal. He slides a business card across the table, different from the one he gave her in the restaurant. This one has a name and address. Therapist, specializes in trauma. First 6 months are covered. I can't afford. I'm not asking you to pay. Casaro's expression softens. Consider it part of the debt. You keep talking about this debt. Elara's voice rises. But I don't understand what you owe us. Your brother hurt my mother 20 years ago. You didn't do anything wrong. I didn't stop him soon enough. The words land heavy. I knew what he was. I knew how he treated people. I told myself it wasn't my business until the day I saw him drag your mother across broken glass. He pauses. That's the day I learned silence makes you complicit. Seraphine's eyes fill with tears she doesn't let fall. You were young, old enough to know better, old enough to act sooner. Casaro stands, walks to the window, stares at gardens maintained by people who probably fear him the way Seraphine once feared his brother. I spent 20 years building power, so I'd never be too weak to stop cruelty again. Your daughter's situation was my test. I wasn't going to fail twice. So what happens now? Elara's voice cracks. Do we just go home and pretend none of this happened? You go home when you're ready, not before. He turns from the window. The threat's gone, but fear doesn't leave on the same schedule. Take whatever time you need. And then you live your life. Casaro's smile is small and sad. Free of men who think love means ownership. Free of fear that walks through restaurant doors. Free. Elara wants to believe him, wants to feel relief, but something in her chest still clenches tight. What if he comes back anyway? What if money and threats aren't enough? Casaro walks back to the table, kneels beside her chair so they're eye level. When he speaks, his voice carries the weight of promises carved in stone. If he comes back, he won't leave again. Not on his feet, not in one piece, not alive. He pauses, but he won't come back, because fear works both ways. And I made very sure he understands exactly what I'm capable of. What did you do to him? What needed doing? He stands. Nothing you need to carry. Seraphine reaches across the table and takes her daughter's hand. We should go home. Are you sure? No. But staying here forever isn't an option either. Casaro nods once. I'll have someone drive you. Security will monitor your building for the next month. If anything feels wrong, anything, you call me. He places one more card on the table. This one is black with gold lettering. No name, just a number. This line reaches me directly, day or night. Emergency or question, it doesn't matter. His eyes meet Elara's with intensity that makes her skin prickle. You're not alone anymore. Remember that. They leave an hour later in a car with tinted windows and a driver who doesn't make small talk. The city passes by outside like a movie Elara's watching instead of living in. Her mother squeezes her hand. "You okay?" "I don't know yet." That's honest. They ride in silence until the car stops outside their apartment building. The driver opens their door, hands Seraphine a small device that looks like a car key fob. "Panic button. Press it if there's trouble. Help arrives in under 3 minutes." Elara stares at the device. "How long do we keep this?" "As long as Mr. Vela deems necessary." The driver's face remains neutral, which likely means forever. He drives away before they can ask more questions. Their apartment feels smaller than it did yesterday. Cheaper, more fragile. Like walls made of paper pretending to be protection. Elara locks the door. Both locks. Then the chain. Then stacks a chair against the handle. Her mother watches without commenting. They order takeout, neither of them eats. Watch television, neither of them sees. Wait for fear to fade, and know it won't. Not today. Maybe not ever. Elara's phone buzzes. She almost doesn't look. Then she does. Text from Casaro. "You survived. Now learn to live. That's the real victory." She deletes it. But like her mother before her, she doesn't delete the number. Outside their window, a black car parks across the street. Different driver. Same purpose. Watching. Protecting. Waiting for threats that might never come, but will be met with violence if they do. Elara closes the curtain, sits beside her mother on their second-hand couch, and breathes. Just breathes. Because that's what freedom feels like in the beginning. Like air finally reaching lungs that forgot how to expand. Fragile, uncertain, but real. 3 weeks pass. Elara returns to work at Garnet House. The manager doesn't ask questions. The staff avoids eye contact like she's radioactive. Customers who witnessed the incident either don't recognize her or pretend they don't. She prefers the pretending. It's Thursday night again. Same shift. Different universe. A man sits at table 7. Black suit. Glass of wine. Familiar tattoos on fingers wrapped around crystal. Elara's heart stops. Casaro looks up when she approaches. His expression is neutral, professional, like he's just another customer, and she's just another waitress. "Evening." She places a menu in front of him, with hands that almost don't shake. "Can I start you with anything besides wine?" "Just the wine, thank you." She nods and starts to walk away. "Elara." She stops, turns back. "How are you?" 2 words, simple question, loaded with meaning that could collapse under its own weight. "I'm here." Her voice is steady, stronger than 3 weeks ago. "That's something. It's everything." He takes a sip of wine. "The therapist, you've been?" "Twice a week?" "Good." Silence stretches between them, comfortable somehow, like they both understand the weight of words unspoken. "Why are you here?" Elara finally asks. "You haven't been back since that night. I wanted to see if you'd returned to work, if you'd reclaimed the space he tried to take from you." Casaro's eyes hold respect instead of pity. "You did. That takes courage. Or stupidity. Courage and stupidity often look identical until the outcome reveals which was which." He smiles, small and genuine. "You're not stupid." Elara shifts her weight. "The guard's outside my apartment. How much longer?" "As long as necessary." "That's not an answer. It's the only one I have." He pauses. "Does it bother you? Knowing you're being watched?" "Yes." She's honest because lying to him feels pointless. "But it bothers me less than wondering if Rivan's hiding in the parking garage." "He's not," He won't be. But I understand the fear doesn't listen to facts. Another customer signals for her attention. Elara acknowledges them with a nod, then looks back at Casaro. I have to work. Of course. She takes 3 steps before he speaks again. Elara. Yes? You're stronger than you know. Stronger than he tried to make you believe. Stronger than fear wants you to feel. His voice drops. Don't forget that when the nightmares come. She doesn't ask how he knows about the nightmares, just nods and walks away. The shift passes, customers order, food arrives, money changes hands. The world spins like it always has, indifferent to violence and protection and debts paid in blood and silence. Near closing time, Elara notices Casaro's table is empty. He left at some point without her seeing. No goodbye, no dramatic exit, just gone. But there's a folded $100 bill under his wine glass with a note written in careful script. Freedom isn't given, it's taken. Keep taking it. See. She pockets the money and the note, finishes her shift, walks to her car alone because she refuses to be afraid of parking lots for the rest of her life. A black sedan follows her home. Different car than before, same purpose. She waves at it when she reaches her apartment. Feels ridiculous doing it. Does it anyway. Inside, her mother is asleep on the couch. Television playing some late-night show neither of them watch. Elara covers her with a blanket and sits in the chair across from her. Her phone buzzes. Unknown number. Her heart races for 3 seconds before logic reminds her that threats don't announce themselves politely through text. She opens it. Thank you for trusting me with your daughter's safety. The debt is paid, but the protection remains, always. Casaro. Elara stares at the message for a long time. Then she types a response. Thank you for showing me what protection looks like when it's real instead of possessive. We won't forget. She hits send before she can overthink it. The response comes immediately. I won't let you. Elara sets down her phone, looks at her mother sleeping peacefully for the first time in months, feels the weight of fear lifting degree by degree like fog burning off under morning sun. It's not gone completely. Maybe it never will be, but it's lighter, and light is enough for now. Outside, the black sedan remains parked across the street. Engine off, lights dim, patient as stone. Inside, Elara closes her eyes and sleeps without nightmares for the first time in 4 months. Not because the danger has vanished completely, but because someone stronger promised to stand between her and anything that tries to hurt her again. And for the first time in her life, she believes the promise will hold. 6 months later, the scars are still there, but they don't bleed anymore. Elara wipes down table 7 for the 3rd time tonight. It's become her table, the one she requests, the one other servers avoid asking for. They don't understand why she wants it. She doesn't bother explaining that reclaiming space means choosing it deliberately instead of running from it. The restaurant is busy. Friday night crowd. Laughter and wine and conversations that don't involve threats or fear or men who confuse control with love. She's refilling water glasses when the front door opens and her body goes rigid before her brain catches up. Not Rivan. Never Rivan again. Just a man in a business suit with kind eyes and nervous hands fidgeting with his tie. First date energy radiates off him like cologne applied too heavily. Elara exhales slowly. Therapist's breathing technique. 4 counts in. Hold. 6 counts out. Repeat until the panic stops trying to convince her body that every door opening is a threat. You okay? Marcus, the bartender, watches her with concern that's become familiar over 6 months. Everyone here knows pieces of her story. Not all of it. Just enough to understand why sudden movements make her flinch, and why she checks the exits twice per shift. Yeah, I'm good. She means it this time. Her phone vibrates in her apron pocket. She ignores it until her break. Checks it in the staff bathroom, where fluorescent lights make everything look sicker than it is. Text from her mother. Casaro sent flowers. Again, no card, just white roses. What do I do with them? Elara smiles despite herself. He sends flowers every month. Always white roses. Never with a card or explanation. Her mother tried returning them once. They showed up again the next day, with double the quantity. She texts back. Put them in water. Stop fighting gestures you are not going to win against. 3 dots appear. Disappear. Appear again. I don't like owing him. We don't owe him. He paid a debt. There's a difference. Feels the same. It's not. Trust me. Elara pockets her phone and returns to the floor. The Friday rush has peaked. Couples leaning close across tables. Friends laughing over shared appetizers. The world functioning exactly as it should when violence isn't crashing through doors. She's clearing plates from table 12 when she feels it. That pressure between her shoulder blades. The sensation of being watched. She turns slowly. Table 7. Casaro sits with his usual glass of wine, usual black suit, usual expression of calm observation. But something's different tonight. He's not alone. A woman sits across from him, elegant, early 50s. Grey streaking through dark hair she hasn't bothered hiding. They're not touching, but their body language speaks of comfort earned through time instead of passion. Elara approaches, professional smile in place. Good evening. Can I start you with? She stops. The woman is staring at her with an intensity that makes her skin prickle. You're Seraphine's daughter. Not a question. Statement delivered with certainty. I am. Elara's voice steadies. Do I know you? No, but I know your mother. The woman's eyes soften. I worked with her 20 years ago. Same mansion. Same cruel man. Understanding crashes through Elara like cold water. You were there when Casaro's brother hurt her. Yes. The woman extends her hand. My name is Nadine. I've wanted to meet you for a very long time. Elara shakes her hand automatically, mind racing through implications she can't quite grasp. Why? Nadine glances at Casaro. He nods once. Permission or encouragement. Elara can't tell which. Because your mother saved my life that day. Nadine's voice drops. His brother wasn't just hurting her. He was coming for me next. Your mother drew his attention deliberately. Took the punishment meant for both of us. Elara's legs feel weak. She grabs the back of an empty chair. I never knew that. She wouldn't tell you. That's who she is. Nadine's eyes glisten. Casaro protected both of us after that day. Found us new jobs. Made sure his brother never touched staff again. But your mother, she disappeared before I could thank her. She was pregnant with me. The pieces click together. She left to protect me from that world. Smart woman. Casaro's voice cuts in, gentle but firm. Which is why I want to offer you both something. Elara's heart races. What? He slides a folder across the table. Thick manila, official-looking documents visible through the opening. A house, paid in full. 3 bedrooms, safe neighborhood, security system installed, deed in your mother's name. His expression is unreadable. The debt is paid, but the offer stands independent of obligation. Accept it or don't. The choice is yours. Elara stares at the folder like it might explode. We can't accept that. Why not? Because it's too much. Because we don't need. You live in an apartment with locks that wouldn't stop a determined teenager. Your mother works 3 jobs to afford rent that keeps increasing. Casaro's voice remains calm, factual. This isn't charity. It's practicality. I have resources you need. Pride doesn't keep you safe. Pride keeps us independent. Independence is an illusion when you're one emergency away from eviction. He leans forward. I'm not asking you to owe me. I'm not asking for gratitude. I'm offering security you've earned through surviving what my family's cruelty set in motion. Nadine touches Elara's hand. Your mother carried scars she didn't deserve for 20 years. Let someone carry the burden of protection for once. Elara's throat tightens. I need to talk to her. Of course. Casaro pulls out his phone. She's expecting your call. You already told her. I asked her permission before making the offer. She said the decision was yours. His smile is slight. She's smarter than both of us. Elara steps away, calls her mother with shaking hands. Seraphine answers on the first ring. Baby, did you know about the house? He told me yesterday, showed me pictures. It's beautiful. Her mother's voice cracks. But I meant what I said. This is your choice. I won't accept help you're uncomfortable with. Are you comfortable with it? Silence stretches for 3 heartbeats. I'm tired, Elara. I'm 52 years old, and my back hurts every morning, and I'm terrified that one day I'll be too old to work, and we'll lose everything. Her mother's voice breaks. So yes, I'm comfortable accepting help from a man who's spent 20 years proving his word means something. Elara closes her eyes. Okay. We'll take it. The house, the security, all of it. She pauses. But we pay utilities. We maintain it ourselves. We don't become people who need him for everything. Deal. Her mother laughs, the sound wet with tears and relief. When do we move? I'll ask. Elara returns to table 7. Nadine is gone. Just Casaro remaining. Wine glass empty. Expression patient. We accept. The words feel heavy and light simultaneously. With conditions. Name them. She lists her mother's terms. He agrees to each one without hesitation. When can we see it? Tomorrow, 10 a.m. I'll send a car. He stands, places cash on the table. One more thing. What? Stop working 3 jobs between you. Your mother doesn't need to anymore. You don't need to choose between rent and therapy. His voice softens. Living isn't the same as surviving. Learn the difference. He walks away before she can respond. Leaves her standing beside table 7 with a folder full of futures she didn't know existed 3 hours ago. Marcus appears at her elbow. What was that about? Elara stares at the folder. I think we just got our lives back. From a mafia boss? From someone who understands that violence creates debts that compound interest over decades. She looks up, and that paying them looks different than people expect. That night, Elara drives home in her beat-up Honda with a folder on the passenger seat and hope sitting in her chest where fear used to live. The black sedan doesn't follow her anymore. Hasn't for 3 months. She misses it sometimes, that constant reminder that someone was watching, protecting, caring whether she made it home alive. But she's learning that safety doesn't always look like surveillance. Sometimes it looks like keys to a house you didn't have to bleed for. Sometimes it looks like choosing to live instead of just surviving. Sometimes it looks like accepting help from dangerous men who spent 20 years learning that power means nothing if you don't use it to protect people weaker than you. Elara parks outside her apartment, goes inside, finds her mother already packing boxes even though they haven't seen the house yet. Confident? Elara asks. Hopeful. Her mother tapes a box shut. There's a difference. They pack until midnight. Not everything, just enough to feel like forward motion instead of stagnation. Elara's phone buzzes. Text from Casaro. Tomorrow starts a different chapter. Turn the page without fear. She doesn't respond. Just adds the number to her favorites and lets the message sit unread, but not forgotten. Outside, the city hums with life that doesn't stop for anyone's trauma or healing. Inside, 2 women pack boxes and plan futures and learn that accepting help doesn't make you weak. It makes you smart enough to recognize when the universe offers a hand instead of a fist, and brave enough to take it. 1 year later. The house smells like Sunday dinner and fresh paint and possibilities that finally stopped feeling like traps. Elara stands in the kitchen of a home she still can't quite believe belongs to them. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a backyard with a garden her mother tends like it's made of memories instead of soil. Security system armed, doors locked, but not from fear anymore, from choice. Her mother hums in the living room, arranging flowers. White roses, monthly delivery like clockwork. They stopped questioning it 6 months ago. Just started saying thank you to empty air and moving forward. Elara's phone rings. Unknown number. She answers anyway. Fear doesn't control that reflex anymore. Hello? Miss Vale. Casaro's voice. Familiar now. Almost comfortable. I wanted to let you know Rivan was arrested in Seattle 2 weeks ago. Assault charge. Different woman. He violated probation. Elara's hand tightens on the phone. Is she okay? She will be. I made sure she has resources. Protection. Everything you had. He pauses. He'll serve time. Real time. Not a slap on the wrist. Good. How are you? I'm okay. She realizes she means it. Actually okay. Not just surviving. I'm glad. She hears a smile in his voice. Your mother? Happy. For the first time in 20 years, I think she's actually happy. Then the debt is truly paid. Silence settles between them. Comfortable. Complete. Casaro. Yes? Thank you. For everything. For seeing us when everyone else looked away. For acting when action mattered. Her voice catches. For teaching me that accepting help isn't weakness. You taught yourself that. I just provided the circumstances. He pauses. Live well, Elara. That's the only thanks I need. The line goes dead. Elara sets down her phone and walks to the window. The neighborhood is quiet. Safe. Children playing in yards, couples walking dogs, life happening the way it's supposed to, when violence isn't lurking in parking garages and restaurant doorways. Her mother appears beside her. Was that him? Yeah. Good news? Rivan's in jail. Real jail. For a long time. Seraphine exhales slowly. Good. They stand together in silence. Mother and daughter, survivors who became something more. Not victims anymore. Not just survivors either. Something new. Something stronger. Women who learned that the world breaks people, but also sends protection in unexpected forms. That debts can be paid in safety instead of blood. That monsters exist, but so do men who fight them. That accepting help doesn't make you weak. It makes you wise enough to recognize when the universe is offering salvation instead of chains. Elara's phone buzzes one final time. Text from Casaro. The guards are gone. You don't need them anymore. But if you ever do, you know how to reach me. Always. See. She shows her mother. Seraphine reads it twice. He really did it. Kept his promise for 20 years. He did. Rare thing. A man who means what he says. Terrifying thing. A man with that much power who chooses to use it for protection instead of destruction. Elara pockets her phone. But I'm glad he was sitting at table 7 that night. Me too, baby. Me too. They return to the kitchen, to Sunday dinner, to a life built from ashes of trauma and watered with someone else's determination to make old wrongs right. Outside, the sun sets over a neighborhood they chose instead of settled for. Inside, two women laugh over burned garlic bread and overcooked pasta, and the beautiful disaster of learning to live instead of just survive. No black sedans watch from across the street. No threats lurk in shadows. No fear controls the turning of locks or the opening of doors. Just life. Messy. Imperfect. Beautiful. Free. And somewhere across the city, in a mansion built from old money and older violence, Casaro Velor sits alone with a glass of wine and a photograph he's never shown anyone. The photograph is 20 years old, shows a young maid with kind eyes and a gentle smile, holding a baby girl swaddled in hospital blankets. Seraphine and Elara. Before cruelty, before scars, before debts that took 2 decades to repay. He keeps it in his desk drawer, takes it out once a year on the anniversary of the day he grabbed his brother's throat and promised to make things right. Tonight, he adds a second photograph beside the first. Recent one. Surveillance image he shouldn't have, but does anyway. Elara and Seraphine in their garden. Laughing. Safe. Alive. Free. He closes the drawer, finishes his wine, and feels something he hasn't felt in 20 years. Peace. Not redemption. He's too realistic to believe violence can be redeemed. But balance. The scales finally level. The debt finally paid. The promise finally kept. He picks up his phone, deletes their numbers from his contacts. Not because he doesn't care, but because they don't need him anymore. And that was always the point. True strength isn't protecting people forever. It's protecting them until they're strong enough to protect themselves. If this story touched your heart, subscribe and turn on notifications. More stories of courage, survival, and unexpected salvation are coming. Share your thoughts below. Your story might inspire someone who needs to hear they're not alone. Remember, accepting help isn't weakness. it's wisdom. And sometimes the most dangerous people become the safest shelter. Keep choosing life. Keep choosing freedom. Keep inspiring others with your journey from survival to living. See you in the next story.